In the mid of winter, a dark storm brews, but instead of throwing cold rain, it drops white, light snow, and the ground is blanketed, and everything becomes one universal white. And in this igloo covering the ground, there lives a vampirate. This vampirate used to live on the seas, but then they froze over. And you can't very well sail your boat, ship, around on frozen water unless you push it and it slides, like that one episode of Magic School Bus where they slid and there was no friction. But anyway, this vampirate is out in this beautiful winter wonderland. And it's overcast, so it's not too bright, but it's still really bright. So he's inside of his igloo, which is like translucent and still bright. So he still has to sleep inside of his coffin. And he's coughing because he's sick, because it's the middle of winter and apparently the cold makes you sick. Not really. Viruses and bacteria make you sick. Anyway, this dude, he can't bring a ship anywhere and he's stuck in the middle of winter. So he needs to get food. So what does he do? This vampirate must wait until sundown. And finally he can get up and go steal candy. Not from children, but from local shops. He breaks in through the ground because he has a excadrill, which can burrow through the ground. It is a drill that will pierce the ground of the local chocolate shop. But he can't eat chocolate because he's allergic to chocolate, kind of like a dog. And if he eats chocolate, he'll die just as bad as sun or garlic. So he has to transmogrify this chocolate into blood. Because during the winter, humans with body temperatures higher than normal, 88.6 degrees, because they're trying to compensate for the coldness, that blood is tainted. It's sort of like boiled water. It's not good enough for him. It's boiled blood. So he has to find chocolate, and it cannot be high fructose corn syrup chocolate. It has to be real serious business chocolate, raw chocolate. So he goes and he steals the chocolate. It was that easy. That's all he had to do. He just goes and steals chocolate, and he patches the ground up, and nobody even notices. Except when there's less chocolate. They're like, dude, why is there less chocolate? Did you eat chocolate, John? No. Why did you think I ate? Well, you always try it when you're making it. Anyway, nobody notices the chocolate's gone. And they accuse each other, and they have their own little war, but here's the vampire, and he's set. He has his chocolate, but how does he change the chocolate into blood? Okay, now what runs on chocolate? Oil. So there is a special engine which runs on chocolate. And this engine, thankfully, it was It was in a machine which existed only 100 years ago, and they stopped making it because it was too efficient. You put one bar of chocolate in there, sucker goes for 20 miles. But then they invented gasoline and started using gas, kind of like how Tesla coils are pretty sweet, but then they stopped using them. Anyway, chocolate. There's a chocolate engine. And what does it run? It ran very old cameras. Black and white cameras. So what this vampire has to do is he has to take pictures, but it's dark at night. See, you can't go out during the day when it's all light and stuff. And the very first cameras did not have flash. They didn't think of that yet. So, and plus he couldn't really handle that anyway. He'd have to wear sunglasses at night, which is hipster and funny, but not very practical. Anyway, so what this pirate in the middle of winter has to do, he has to wait till it's a full moon, and then there's some light all over the blanketed ground of white, and that reflects light upon the trees, and etc., etc. And you have to take like 100 pictures in order to change the chocolate into blood. So what is he going to take pictures of? He tries to take pictures of the night sky, because whoa, dude, check out these stars. There are so many of them. And then he figured he'd play connect the dots and make shapes and call them stuff like this is the champion of basketball in Africa, and this is the lonely horse, and this is the unassuming local stray cat. I don't know. Anyway, he has to take a lot of pictures. He tries to take pictures of the sky. It doesn't work. He doesn't understand because there's light coming out of the stars and it's not showing up on the pictures. Of course, if he knew that if you leave the aperture open enough for a long enough period, you will see the stars. Anyway, so that doesn't work, and he doesn't know how to take pictures of stars. So he takes pictures of ghosts, because this vampirate can see ghosts. You know, and like Chupacabra and Sasquatch and other such anomalous entities. And he succeeds. He finds because they're friendly, vampires and ghosts and such. They're bros, yo. And he takes lots of beautiful pictures, which of course he cannot show normals during the daytime because then they would know they exist, no vampirates exist, and his cover would be blown. So it's in the middle of winter, and this vampirate is taking pictures of ghosts. That is how the stranded vampirate, who could not go sailing on the frozen lake, transformed chocolate into blood so he could live by taking pictures of ghosts.